Hello, everyone, and welcome to another class in your masterclass series. This class is on branding. This class is going to teach you how to build your brand, and it is going to be in depth. So this isn't going to be a 5-minute YouTube tutorial. It's not going to be a basic class. We're really going to dive into building your brand psychology, et cetera, and so forth. A couple of disclosures before we get started. We are our community, brokered by eXp Realty. A lot of what we teach is California specific, but a lot of it can be applied throughout the country. If you want this PowerPoint, hit me up for the link. I'll send it to you. And that is my direct cell phone number, 951-691-7798. Okay, let's jump in. What will be covered in this class? Brand psychology, different types of brands. You can build your, my slides got a little bit messed up. How to design your own brand or hire professionals, what that's supposed to be. What a brand is and how to get your brand seen. Branding is not just a logo. A logo is a symbol for your brand. A brand is a promise. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about later. What you promise, when you promise it, and how do you deliver it, right? So what is the promise? With Starbucks, the promise is coffee, atmosphere, right? McDonald's, a burger, There you go. Nike, just do it. It's shoes. But it's also about a lifestyle, right? It's a lifestyle brand. Your brand, real estate. So you want people, when they think about a burger, they think about In-N-Out. When they think about, hey, let's go grab coffee, they don't even say, hey, let's go grab coffee anymore. They say, let's go grab Starbucks, right? And so it's become synonymous with meeting up. So when you build a brand that is not just a symbol, but it is a lifestyle, you become a part of the psychology for what you are doing, right? What you are doing, everything around it, okay? So what is the promise? And that's what we're going to discuss right now. So first, what's the promise here? Starbucks.
Great coffee.
Great coffee, chill atmosphere, right? Great playlist, you know what I mean? Expensive pastries, right? Just the atmosphere. Okay, what about this? Nike. Yeah, what's the promise?
I'm going to perform better.
I'm going to perform better.
Yeah.
Athletics, right?
Staying in shape.
Yep. And then what about Disney? What's the promise?
Fantasy
entertainment. You can say what's on your mind.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. So for keeping this non-political, I can see you just dying over there right now. But what is it? It's fun family entertainment,
yes.
Right? And so you could decide whether or not it's family entertainment. I like Disney Plus. The kids love Disney Plus. Hey, what about In-N-Out? What's the promise here?
Oh, 3x3s.
3x3s, animal style,
yeah.
Burgers, right?
California burgers.
And there's a good chance. Is that line? Is it going to be long?
Yeah.
Probably, but is it worth the wait?
Yes.
Hey, maybe, right? I really like In-N-Out Burger. Coca-Cola, what's the promise?
Refreshing beverage.
Refreshing, right? Going right back to their classic advertising campaign, refreshment, right? Nostalgia, Americana. They'll always be there. Pretty much everywhere that you walk in, it's Coke product, right? Mm-hmm. Netflix, what's the promise?
Chill.
Isn't that genius, right? Yeah. I don't know who snuck that into the marketing department, like leaked that out. Netflix and chill. If you could have your brand be synonymous with sex and its movies or like hookup culture, right? No, but Netflix, hey, you can relax. Endless programming.
You don't have to go to the store to pick out a movie.
You don't have to go to the store to pick out a movie, right? They put Blockbuster out of business. Amazon, what's the promise?
You can get stuff next day.
Next day, right?
I need it now.
I need it now. McDonald's, what's the promise?
Terrible burgers.
Same terrible burger in every city, right? Okay.
They're always consistent.
But it's always consistent. It's the same terrible burger, the same fries, right? And so I'm autistic. I love McDonald's. I love McDonald's. It is very comforting. It's the same crappy experience at every freaking one. But like I love it. It's comforting, right? Different brand types. So there's the word mark. And the word mark is McDonald's Golden Arches. It's the Google G there at the bottom. An abstract symbol. So like, with when I was talking to you about your branding, Trevor, and I was like, it'd be fun to incorporate a guitar and a house in it, right?
Yeah.
And then, you attract these musicians and whatnot, and you serve a niche. The niches, or the riches are in the niches, right? What does your brand say about you? So the abstract symbol, the Nike swoosh, and they sell shoes and athletic stuff, right? Apple, it's an apple with a bite out of it, and they sell computer stuff. It has nothing to do with an apple. And then there's the representative object. And you see a lot of this in real estate branding. The house, the sign, the key. And you got Redfin is a perfect example of that right there. Redfin, whose stock has plummeted by 75% since the beginning of the year. And then there's my brand right there. My brand, I designed the logo. And I had the shot done professionally by Mario Vargas. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But why did I choose it? Orange is warm. It fits my brokerage colors at EXP, and at our community, which is important, I think, but not imperative. Your brand is your brand. Does the red and yellow fit the EXP or our community? Not necessarily, but the way that you did it, it looks really cool. It kind of stands out, right? It really stands out. I love the duality with the one heart being dark and then the other heart being open. The heart-centered brand, a key is representative of security for me. Being able to lock, not only to be able to buy, but to be able to lock it, to be able to have access to it. The key I chose is nostalgic. And the reason for that is very specific. Who are making the decisions 97% of the time when it comes to real estate? The women, right? They're the ones. And so that key that I chose, it's like that secret garden key.
That's
right?
exactly what it's like.
And so I wanted that sense of nostalgia. And then what is the promise? Okay. You brand yourself or you will get branded. So you see this human being getting ready to get branded with a hot cattle prod. And that's really what it is. So listen, we all here work at eXp Realty, everybody in the room.
Yeah.
But there are people who they love their brand and they put their brand above their own image, their own personal branding. So whether you're at eXp Realty or Remax, Berkshire Hathaway, Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, there are people who are like, oh, people trust the balloon. People really trust the balloon, David. And I'm like, no, listen, if somebody had a great experience with a Remax agent, they go back to that Remax agent. But if somebody had a terrible experience with a Remax agent, they hate all Remax agents, right? And the same could be said for Keller Williams or EXP or anyone, right? So for me, I wanted to have my individual brand, which is of course the Serpa team, within our brokerage brand, right? You either build something you believe in, you become a part of something that you believe in, or somebody believes in something and they pull you in, right? So I really love our community. Who doesn't love our community? That's part of what we do. Our community is real estate, right? So and of course our community is supported by eXp Realty. It wouldn't be possible without it. Everybody owns it. But no matter where you're at, like I said, it doesn't matter. So I started my career off somewhere else, but at eXp, when I made the transition, I just bought some cheap signs to get it up and running. Now, on the left, you'll see me getting branded by a company, right? I used the standard eXp sign. I put my name in there. We basically press print. We bought our signs directly. It's cheaper. It's a little bit easier. It's a lot easier. It's quicker a lot of times. It doesn't require a lot of thought. That's why a lot of people they jump in. But then at the end of the day, if you see that sign, are you thinking David Serpa or are you thinking eXp Realty? Bingo, bam. Now, the difference is with the brand on the left, you see eXp Realty. The brand on the right, you see David and Katie Serpa. And branding yourself, it can be expensive, but I'm going to show you how you can do it for free at the end of this class. It can be timely. But I think it's worthwhile. It's probably the most important thing that you can do for your business. And when is the right time to get branded? Freaking right now. Right now. Brand yourself now. Otherwise, every day, every open house sign that you put out, every flyer that you put out, you're not wasting your time, but you're certainly not investing it. Right? Build a business that you can stand behind. Why is branding important? Well, hard makes easy and easy makes hard. When I first came to eXp Realty, I was burned out on teams. I never wanted to run a team again. I never wanted to run a brokerage again. So I was like, hey, just give me some standard signs. But hard makes easy, right? And easy makes hard. So that was easy. Well, you know what happened? My branding in the community fell off. My phone started ringing a little bit less, right? So hard makes easy. So I got branded. That's a hard thing to do. I put some time and energy and money into it, and then that will create a more easy experience later, because now I'm going to have a brand that is going to be synonymous with real estate, synonymous with quality. I'm going to build a name that now has equity in it, which is something we talk about regularly. Okay, so branding. Who are you? Who are you? Right? Mama Serpa. Hey, it's thinking about buying real estate? Better call mom. Right? What do you stand for? What do you stand for? You stand for community. You stand for money. You stand for luxury. Whatever it is that I'm not here to tell you that it's wrong, but think about, what do you stand for? Because if you don't stand for anything, it will be obvious in your branding that it's not guided, right? So what is your mission plan? If you have a mission plan, right? If you have a reason, then you'll accomplish it by any means necessary. If you don't have a mission, what are you doing and where are you going? Who are you serving? That's an important thing to think about. There's 4 different things to consider here. One is demographic segmentation. So this is gender, this is age, right? If you're saying better call mom, you're painting yourself as an authority. You'll get younger buyers, but you'll also get older buyers that will contact you directly, right? So who are you serving? Thinking about it. Well, how old is the average home buyer? Okay, in this area. Who are my people, right? Who do I want to be able to find me? Because what you're doing is you are attracting what you put out there, okay? Geographic segmentation, serving a location, which is really what I've dove into here, French Valley, a club. There are people that are like the preferred real estate agent of their motorcycle club. Everything that they've got going on is, motorcycling. There are people that they're the preferred real estate agent of their church or a church community, or an organization, a nonprofit. Figure out how to brand yourself so that people want to align themselves with your brand. Does that make sense? 3, behavioral segmentation. How do people act? So on the left, we have an art community cleanup, which JP Wright led, supported by Christian. The church has dropped in. Our kids are in that picture there. And then on the right, we had a zombie surpocalypse. We know that there's a lot of families in this area. This is suburban sprawl, right? And so we wanted to support people, young moms and dads, people who have kids, et cetera, and so forth. And then 4, attitudinal segmentation. How do people feel about something, right? So this is, if you're targeting how someone feels, then you're looking to start a movement, okay? Amy right here created a great brand. We're going to analyze a couple of brand-infused people. Good morning, Jim. Zach Bach created a great brand-infused person. Amy Serpa, and then my own brand was Superwoman of Real Estate. Super Real Estate Service. Great branding. Really, honest to God, one of my favorites. Now, you can see what I said about how does the orange and the red naturally go together. No, but I really love the way that it pops here. Now, there's brand cohesion here. It really pops. You've got the individual shot, which was done by Mario Vargas, which will give you his information there at the end, adthewow.com. She built this brand out, but then she complemented the brand by creating branded spaces. Yeah. And then brand cohesion, right? So you see the sign, you love the sign, you come in, there's superhero coloring books, the business card have the little lightning flashes on it. So it's really obvious, no matter what someone sees going forward, if they see something red with a lightning bolt on it, it's the Superwoman of Real Estate, right? Zach Bach. Zach created his brand on Fiverr, and I really love the wood paneling sign. He created that idea there. Zach works in law enforcement, has worked in law enforcement, so he's got that thin blue line present. And then you see he's also an Eagle Scout, Scout troop leader. So he's got the forest incorporated there. And then you could see I think it's a soldier grave.
Boots and the rifle.
The boots and the rifle, correct. So it attracts a certain kind of person. Now, out here, we have a very heavy military community, lots of sheriffs, police officers, fire departments, etc. And he's just putting that photo out there, smiling, can I interview to be your agent? Now, this is my newest brand. I've had a lot over the years. And we'll dive into that a little bit more later. But you can see the orange, the heart, the key, Serpa really standing out. Now, when you're designing your brand, you think identity: who, what, where, when, and why. Okay, it's very easy to think about that for our community: who, what, where, when, and why. Your logo: are you going to choose a word mark, go abstract, or use a representative symbol? You can see in my brand, I did all three. I did the word mark, which was Serpa. I did the abstract symbol, which is the hearts, and then I did the representative, which is the key. And then choosing a color, we're going to go over that here shortly. And then whether or not to include a photo. I encourage you to include a photo for real estate, because then when people walk into the front door, they already are familiar with you. And then it's like, oh my, hey, Jim. And of course, Jim does not have a photo in his brand, but I'm not hating on you, Jim. I pulled quite the still out for your interview, though.
Oh, you did?
I caught you smiling.
Scary.
So brand psychology, we're going to go over common associations, color psychology, and popular brand colors. Now, red. We're going to start with Amy's. The positives is power, passion, energy, fearlessness, strength, excitement. Negative, anger, danger, warning, aggression, pain. Now, these are all pretty, it's fun to jump into the brand psychology and look at, oh, well, why did this person choose orange? Why did this person choose red? Even on a deeper level, hey, is it great to put red signs out on the road? Yeah, danger, they're going to pay attention to it. Yellow signs for the same reason, right? But thinking about yellow, not a lot of people want to build their brand on yellow, in my opinion. Okay, and then orange. My current brand, purple, my old brand. So purple, positives are wisdom, luxury, wealth, spirituality, imaginative, sophistication. These are all things that I knew going into it. The negative, introversion, decadence, suppression, inferiority, extravagance, moodiness. So I believe that going forward, the pendulum is swinging, right? So, 10 years ago when I got in real estate, almost 10 years ago, everyone was luxury, HGTV. And I think a lot of that is actually, people are not into that right now. They're getting kind of frustrated by it. So we had a brand switch. I was like, hey, let's adopt orange when we rebrand and jump back in after the hiatus. And orange is courage, confidence, warmth, innovation, friendliness, energy, negative, deprivation, frustration, frivolity, immaturity, ignorance, sluggishness. So I love combining orange with black. Now, black is Zach's brand. Sophistication, security. Isn't that interesting, right? Well, given what he has done and what he does currently. Power, elegance, authority, substance. The negative, oppression, coldness, menace, heaviness, evil, mourning. So you can see a little bit of the negative and positive, the divine character and the shadow archetypes in both of those. Now, we're not going to spend too much time on this, but just go ahead and pull that up on the screen if you could, Amy, because this might be a good thing to take a snapshot of. So I was very cognizant of the orange and black being synonymous with Amazon and Harley and a lot of those type of things. Very successful companies, a little bit dangerous. But just take a snapshot, think about what you want to be associated with, because different types of brands incite different feelings in people. So here's another color spectrum for you to go ahead and look at if you would like. And then let's go and let's jump in and move forward. So this is my old brand compared with my new brand. And what can you notice other than I'm a little bit more fat? And,
It's a better looking picture.
Yeah.
You look more put together. You got Katie included.
Yeah, Katie's in the picture. So yeah, but both of them say something a little bit different. In my opinion, the orange is more accessible. It's practically the same exact picture, but I also learned something about NLP, and I decided not to have my hands completely missing from the photo, because if your hands are missing from a photo, people think naturally you have something to hide. So if you have a thumb out, like I do, people say, oh, that looks like wealth. That looks like, maturity. If you have just your thumb in, people are like, oh, that guy looks like a poor dude. So I really put a little bit more thought into my brand and what I was doing. Now, brand cohesion, now you can see this. Building the brand is just one thing. The thought put into building and expanding your branding package is just as important as your initial brand, if not more important. Okay, so this is flyers, signs, marketing, giveaways. Like if you have stress balls or little flashlights or something that you want to pass out to people, et cetera and so forth. Be everywhere. Open house signs, social media. You don't have to be a king of every platform, but pick one and do that consistently. Door hangers versus mailers. And there's all these old people trying to get off of Facebook and get onto new platforms. And I'm like, hey man, Facebook, there's a lot of people on Facebook. If you just did that effectively, you don't need to learn anything else. Door hangers versus mailers. Hey man, people throw away door hangers and they throw away mailers. But people go over their mail standing over the trash. Whereas people will grab something off their door and they'll look at it while they're walking to the trash. So it'll give you an extra 10, 15 seconds versus if you are clumped in with junk mail. And I was paying a flyer guy to distribute my flyers and he was clumping me in with a bunch of other flyers. I was inside a clump of other flyers. People were just grabbing the whole thing and throwing it away. And then, of course, groups, events, value adds. What do you promise? When do you deliver it? And then creating branded spaces. So not just having one flyer in the entry room, but doing what new home builders do in putting flyers in every room with some little something about you, a little bit of tips about the home buying experience, tips about home selling, and then avoid brand chaos. You need to have some cohesion over what you stand for. Otherwise, people will be like, what do you do? And that happened for a little while with our community, right? We were like, what do you guys do? Promises made, promises kept. What do you promise? Hey, we promise we're going to clean up the community on this date. And then you do it. When do you promise it? And how do people feel about working with you? That's a big one. Because if people felt like you were cold and distant or you were a jerk, there's a difference between being cold and being professional, which I'm professional. I'd always be the warmest person all the time. But I genuinely care about people. It's just exhausting. I can't cry with everybody, right? And then what is most important to your client? That's a big thing to think about too. Because when you're offering these promises, what are you promising and who are you promising it to? When will the customer find you? There are 5 different touch points. One is the need recognition phase. I need a home. I'm sick of renting. I need a house. My landlord is kicking me out or whatever. The rent was getting ready to go up. So I need a home. That's the need recognition phase. 2, the information phase. How do I find a home? How do I use my VA loan? What kind of down payment do I need? What are some great tips for first-time home buyers? So you educate the dominant, right? So you create videos attracting everyone in each one of these 5 touch points. 1, the need recognition phase. People needing a home, create videos for people who are shopping. Then create videos for people who are in the information gathering stage. And then evaluating alternatives. Who can help better, cheaper or quicker? Hey, we thought about buying real estate. I know that your friend's a real estate agent, but who else do we know, right? So evaluating alternatives. 4, the purchase phase. The repair request, offer lost, escrow process. And like I said, you're the other agent in the transaction. So what happens is somebody falls out of escrow and they were furious with their agent. Are they going to go back and work with that agent? No, but are they going to be like, how do I, do a request for repairs? Or what do I to expect in a home inspection? So you want to be doing the education that other agents don't do throughout the process because somebody's going to buy a home again. Or they might fail and they might need to work with you. But either way, the purchase phase is not a place to lose people. A purchase phase is a place to gather people. And then the post-purchase behavior phase. This is how could that have worked better? Hey, we just bought our house, but that was stressful. Did it need to be that stressful? Man, we couldn't get a hold of our agent the whole time. What's that all about, right? And we've talked about this before, but you educate the dominant. So finding the need or the compelling reason. Building your web. The reason why you build a web over the years is so that people get caught in it and they come to you, right? So I'm building a web, I'm putting out blog material, I'm putting out videos, I'm putting up Facebook posts. I'm creating a way with evergreen material, which is material that's always good. It doesn't go away, right? One of my top videos is how to fire your buyer's agent. That was a crappy video that I did like 8 years ago while I was sitting in an open house, came up with the video on the spot. These little things, it creates evergreen content for people to contact you going forward. Now, if somebody fires their buyer's agent, who do you think that they might call if they're local, right? So a smart tease at the end of that would be like, hey, and if because you can't solicit business on a video like that. But anyway, we digress. Educate to dominate. Blog. news. Get yourself on the news. Be the local real estate expert. Get yourself. I'm on LCA. Write for Patch or some local newspaper in order to build credibility, or borrow credibility. So you can build your own credibility, which takes a long time, or you could borrow credibility for someone else. One of the smartest things that JP did, that Christian did, was they developed this French Valley Community Development Corporation. It sounds very official, and it is official. It's the two of them, right? But, they're using it to do good things, but it puts a little bit of weight behind it. So here are some of the branding resources. We're going to go into actually building your brand now. So if you want to hire a professional, go to addthewow.com. We'll talk about how you do that. If you want to do it yourself, go to canva.com. We're going to walk you through building a brand. Or if you want to hire a freelance designer, I'm also going to show you how to do that. Okay. So if you want to hire the best, in my opinion, Mario Vargas is the gold standard. He's the gold standard when it comes to real estate. When you look up real estate branding, 9 out of 10 of those photos are him. The other one is someone trying to imitate what he does. In my opinion, I think he's that good. So with that being said, you pay to work with the best. That's what's true. But addthewow.com. So addthewow.com, this is one of the photos there. That's the website. You see it there at the top. Go to book now. You can also check out his portfolios and everything. And if you're not impressed after being on that website, get your pulse checked. You might be dead. And then some important things to read. He does get booked out a while in advance. You might want to build a temporary brand for yourself now and then go to him later. Just a couple of different options for you. And then that's the pricing right there. So he's got a new agent package. He's got a headshot package. He's got an Add the Wow session, and then a Vargas signature realtor branding package. Now, I've done all of those at one point or another. I had this man shoot my book cover for the Machine Gunner's Guide to Real Estate, which isn't my best book, but I really like the cover. And so I would strongly encourage, that's one of my brands that he built. The great thing is that he does all these shots individually and then adds them together. So if you have breakage, like people do with teams, you remove one person, you add another person in, you don't have to kill the entire brand, right? And then this is the most recent shot that he took of my wife and I. And I created that logo though, but he did the shot. So you might want to go to him for your picture if you want to create your own brand, but I think he really creates brands that pop. This is how to do it yourself. Okay, so we're going to jump in right now, Canva. So it's free to build yourself a Canva account, but it's $12.95 a month for that pro account. And that gives you the opportunity to remove backgrounds. It gives you more photo options, more branding packages. And honestly, I think it's worth it, $13. There's so many great tools out there for $13, for $5. You sign up for Reventure Consulting and you get access to all these maps for $5. You can get market briefs for free. Through Minority Mindset. But there's all these great tools out there that people are not utilizing. And in my opinion, Canva is one of them. So set yourself up a free account at least. Even if you do have Vargas or somebody build your brand, this will allow you to continue to build your branding package out, continue to build your flyers, et cetera, and so forth. So if you want to do it, click on that logo section right there, okay? And then you'll be able to scan through all of the pre-made logos. And what I did was I actually entered real estate. And then there's just a ton of home. I'm telling you, all these agents, 9 out of 10 of them look like they just took some branding off of Canva, right? But I like that branding. I did this in 10 minutes. I did this whole branding package in about 10 minutes, but I'm really good at Canva. So I clicked on this and I try to make this as easy as possible so that you too can do it in 15, 20 minutes. This is not rocket science. Okay, so what I did was I put David Serpa in there and I just put serving French Valley, California. Because again, I'm about that demographic group. I want to maintain a locality. So I love that brand. I might even, I wouldn't really change it. I like that. So I put that in. I saved the ping. I selected transparent background. You have to do that. It doesn't automatically do it for you. Now I've got a brand that I'm working with, right? Now I can add that brand into my open house material. I can add it into business cards. So I wanted an open house flyer. So I built an open house flyer. I dropped my brand into it right there. You can see that brand there at the top. I added my brokerage, eXp Realty, to the upper left. And then I chose a photo and I cropped the background out. Now this is actually part of a video and I just pulled this frame out of it. So you pull the photo, remove the background. This is a tool called Background Remover. And I would say 99 times out of 100, it does the background perfectly and you don't even have to do any touch-ups. But you remove the background, you apply it. I drop that in down there at the bottom. Now all of a sudden, I've got a great flyer. That took me no work at all. I didn't even take a picture of myself. You can take a picture of yourself and remove the background, but I didn't even do it. I just pulled it out of a video. So, and that works, right? Is that flyer going to stand out versus one that doesn't have a photo on it versus one that doesn't have an individual brand? Yeah. Okay. Now people are going to see me. And then if I want to build a business card, just go to business cards, enter it in, business cards, pull up a couple of templates. Literally, I was just like, it was late. You'll see a lot of these screenshots. It's like 12:30 at night, 1 o'clock in the morning when I'm working on this. And I just wanted to get it done. So I selected one of the first ones that I saw. I added my photo in. I added in the eXp logo and my new logo. And then I want to change the colors, right? So what I do is I click on the little box that was behind me. I clicked on the line and I clicked on the box on the right. And then you follow that up to where that little color is right there. You click on it and it will bring you up some options. And those options you could pull from. I love this tool on Canva because it actually matches. If I wanted to build the brand off of my logo or that flyer off my business card off my logo, I could have done that. But I chose to build it off of the eXp logo because I love the orange that's also in that sunset that's in the background. So that's how you do that. Pretty damn easy, right? And then that's a business card right there. I like that so much I might even get some of them made. So, and then the other option is to hire a freelancer. So with Fiverr.com with 2 R's, you could go in, you could hire a freelancer, you could post a request. And so right here, you see where it says post a request. This is a way to get multiple freelancers bidding on one job if you want them to do that. There's a couple of different ways to build the brand. Hey, I'm teaching right now, buddy. I'll be back. I'll be out in a moment. So you need to put in what service that you're looking for. So go ahead and fill that in and then select logo design. And then at the bottom, well, you got to select graphic design and then that will give you the option to select logo design. Or you can use Fiverr to build your own brand if you wanted to do that. So you just go to logo and brand identity, select logo design, and then you could use their logo maker tool. If you decide to use their logo services, it will ask you a lot of questions. Do you like the minimalist approach? Do you like 3D? Do you want a mascot? Do you want it hand-drawn? Do you like vintage? And there's a lot of different great options for you. Or you could hire somebody directly. And going down to the bottom where it says buyers keep returning, you could check out people's branding packages and just hire them directly. Any questions for me? Okay, so again, my information is right there on the slide if you want to contact me directly. This is part of a masterclass series. There's several classes. I think we've taught 8 so far. So if you want to watch more of these, I'm going to put together a masterclass series on YouTube. So then you can just watch everything together. Any questions, comments, suggestions? Cool. All right, appreciate you watching. Thank you so much.